Now let's see this delete operation. Now generally what we do is we might want to delete a row in a table, or all the rows in a table, or the entire table we want to delete. So there are the three types of delete we might want to do, right? So either one row, or all the rows, or the entire table. Okay, now let's see how it could be done. Now the syntax is delete from. So whatever table you want to delete from, you have to write the table name, and then you also can specify some condition, like if it is satisfying some condition, that row is satisfying some condition, you might want to delete such rows. Okay, so what is this where, and how to implement it, we shall see. Now let us say we have two tables, one is department table and the other one is employee table. These two tables we have already created in the previous example, right? Now assume that the department number here, let us say the department ID of employee is referring department ID of the department here, right? So which means this one is referring this one. So what is the meaning of it? If you are going to have some department number here, you should be sure that the department is already present here, then only you can have it, otherwise you can't have it, right? That is the referential foreign key we are going to have. So department ID of employee is going to be a foreign key referring to the department ID of the department, right? And all the other things are same as we discussed. Now let's see how to delete a row and all the rows as well as the table. Now first one is delete from EMP where employee ID equal to 1. So what is that we want is, we want to get into this EMP table. So from is going to give us the table name. Delete from employee table where EMP ID equal to 1. So whenever this EMP ID equal to 1, we want to delete that row. Now what will happen because of this query is, or because of that statement is, this one will get deleted. Got it? So employee 1 data is completely deleted. And now if I write delete star from EMP, then what will happen because of that statement is, this entire all the rows present here will get deleted. Got it? So this one, everything gets deleted. But then the table is going to exist. See, only the rows are going to be deleted, but the table is going to exist in the database. Again you can update, and again you can insert some values into it, right? It is not that the table is going to be dropped completely, right? Now if you want to delete the table and the rows completely, nothing should be remaining, then we can use the drop, right? Okay, so before that, sometimes what happens is, whenever you do some delete, it might create some problems whenever you have foreign keys. So in this case, just see this one. Now we have foreign key. One foreign key is, see, this is the foreign key, and one employee is referring to the value 2 and other employee is referring to the value 1. Now what is the meaning of it? This particular employee is present in department number 2 and this particular employee is present in department number 1, and these entries can exist only if department number 2 and department number 1 exists, right? Now in case if you try to delete department number 1 or 2, when you have employees here, that is going to create a problem. What is the problem? According to this integrity constraint, you are not supposed to have any rows here which are going to refer to a department which is not present there. Now if you try to remove either department number 2 or department number 1, it is going to create a problem, right? So for example, if you see this, delete from department where department ID equal to 1. Now we are specifying here that employee 3 is working for department number 1, and now you are deleting the department, right? Now it is going to make the database inconsistent, because you are talking about an employee who is working for department number 1 when the department number 1 is not at all in the database, right? So this has to be handled in a different manner. For that we are going to see something called as referential integrity constraint. Got it? Something called as referential integrity constraints get violated, and how to handle it, we shall see it. So what is referential integrity constraint? Whenever there is a foreign key, whatever values you have for it should already be present there, right? But since one is not present there, it is violating the referential integrity constraint. Now how to handle it, we shall see it later. Okay, in the next video or sometime later we shall see it. Okay, and now the next one is drop. So drop is used to delete both the data and the table. For example, if I try to drop, see the syntax is like this: drop table, table name. If I try to drop the employee table, it means that all the employees will be deleted as well as the entire table will be deleted. Now after you drop the table, you cannot use insert. Got it? See, now if you delete all the rows of a table, again you can use the insert and you can try inserting the rows into the table. But then once you drop the table completely, unless you create it again, you cannot use insert to insert the rows. That is the main difference. Got it? So once you drop it, again you have to create it. But once you delete all the rows, you need not create it, you can directly insert, right? Now again, dropping a table will also lead to the problem of integrity constraint violation. So when is it possible is, if you try to drop this complete table, having this table in the database. Now you can clearly see that here some department information is given and you don't have any department information there. Therefore again referential integrity constraint gets violated. Now how to deal with that, we shall see later. Okay, but anyway you should understand that deleting may sometimes lead to violation of referential integrity. Got it? Okay, now let's see update. Now why is update used is, it is used for updating the data of a table. Sometimes you might want to update certain attributes of a row. Then you have to select the row for which you have to apply the modifications and then apply the modifications, right? Now see this, update, the syntax is like this: update table name. You have to specify what is the table in which you want to apply the update and what are the attributes you want to change. Set attribute, which means this is the attribute name which you want to change, and this is the new value that you want to set to that attribute, where condition is used to select some of the rows of the table. Okay, let's see an example. Update department, set department name equal to IT, where location equal to KGP. So what is the meaning of it? You go into the table which is having name department, and then you find out the rows which are having location as KGP, and in those rows wherever you see department name, you are going to change it to IT, right? Now look at this, in this example we shall see here. Now in this table department, you have to go into the rows which are having location as KGP. Now this is the row which is having location as KGP, and now here you have department name and you change it to IT. Earlier it was ECE, now I am changing it to IT. Got it? Okay, let's see one more. Now for example, if you want to change update EMP set ID department ID equal to 1, where employee ID equal to 2. Now what does it mean? You have to go into the employee table and then find out the employee with employee ID as 2 and then change his department to 1. Now see this, how it is being done here. Now you have to go into this table and then find out the employee with ID 2 and change his department ID to 1. That is what is done. This one, right? Now sometimes updating might also lead to violation of integrity constraint. Now let's see an example on that. Let's see this query, or let's see this statement. Now update department set department ID equal to 4, where department name equal to EEE, which means for EEE department we want to set its department ID to 4. Now let's see here. Now if you observe this, in EEE department we are going to set its department number as 4. Now sometimes this might cause violation of referential integrity constraint. So when will it cause a violation is, let us say there is an employee who is having department number as 3, and let us say his name is ABC. Now earlier there was a department with name 3. Now the department name has been updated, department number has been updated to 4. Now you can clearly see that again this is violating the integrity constraint, because department number 3 is not there, and also here also if you observe it, department number 1 was not there. right? Therefore, whenever you try to update, it is also going to violate the referential integrity. Now, whenever you are going to violate the referential integrity, then you are supposed to specify the database system, like how it should behave, like what should be the action taken. So should you allow the action, or should you allow the action, by doing some other modifications. So whatever you have to do, you have to specify them clearly. Then only your database is going to do those modifications. Got it? We shall see that in referential integrity constraints. Okay, fine.